In 2020, Microsoft made a commitment to be carbon negative by 2030 and to remove all of our company's historic emissions by 2050. This is our carbon moonshot. It's a bold commitment reflecting our values and our determination. It requires us to be all in, transforming our operations and mobilizing our supply chain, our investments, and our policy voice toward a shared net zero goal. Since we made this commitment, the urgency has only increased. The 2023 Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change Synthesis Report makes it clear. We're at the crossroads of a planetary climate emergency. To keep warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius will require rapid, far-reaching, and unprecedented changes in all aspects of society. We need bold, decisive action as the window of opportunity is narrowing. To that end, Microsoft is taking action across 3 concentric circles of influence: our own operations, our network of customers and partners, and our place in the global economy as a leading technology provider to empower others. Within our own operations, we aim to reduce our carbon footprint by more than half this decade, and then to remove the rest in our journey to becoming carbon negative by 2030. This requires us to source low-carbon substitutes and carbon-free energy to power our businesses. Upstream, that means a focus on sustainable semiconductors and hardware, sustainable construction materials, and sustainable fuels. Downstream, it means a focus on logistics, customer power, and waste elimination. And on the other side of the carbon ledger, it means a commitment to high-quality, durable, and additional carbon removal in both nature-based and engineered forms. Among our network of customers and partners, our commitment to sustainability means an imperative to develop and offer the technology and tools that the global economy needs for measuring carbon to mitigate climate impacts. And finally, in our role as a global corporate leader, our commitment requires us to pull all the levers of climate action at our disposal, committing our capital and lending our voice to push for climate solutions at scale. In 2020, I spoke for the first time with Christoph and Jan by video in the early days of the pandemic about their vision for commercializing Climeworks' solid sorbent DAC technology. And then last fall, I had the privilege of visiting the Orca plant outside Reykjavik, Iceland, to see their vision in action. The Climeworks team has blazed a trail for rapidly taking ideas from the lab to the field and scaling them up for climate action. Going from presenting a thesis in 2015 to commissioning Orca for initial operations in 2021 is practically a land speed record. We continue to be encouraged as Climeworks has begun delivering real tons of permanent carbon removal and has honed its verification process in partnership with DNV. The mindset of doing the right things in the right ways is one that will be critical to scaling carbon removals in the years to come. In parallel, here in the US, after years of relative inaction on climate, late last summer we saw passage of the Inflation Reduction Act, mobilizing American policy, capital, and ingenuity toward meaningful and unprecedented climate action. This, paired with the EU's Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive and other policies, means that there's been enormous progress on the policy front in recent years, and there's much to be hopeful about. There are many reasons to celebrate how far we've come, and this gathering today is one of them. Today's Climeworks DAC Summit is both a celebration of how far this community of carbon removal innovators has come, and a recognition that for the world to reach net zero, we need a whole lot more net negative technologies and projects to come online in a short time. To achieve a 1.5 degree future, even with 90% electricity decarbonization and 100% electrification of vehicles and building heat, we're going to need carbon removal at scale. In the US alone, our goals require between 0.5 gigaton to 1.8 gigatons annually. This needs to happen alongside all our other climate investments as a society, in grid decarbonization, clean fuels, materials, and nature-based sequestration. We know that climate change does not have a single solution. And within the portfolio of climate technologies, including removal, it's important to develop the range of innovations and pathways to drive down the cost of carbon abatement. As a buyer and an investor in this market, we're convinced that early demand and early capital need to come together to drive the growth of highly durable and additional carbon removal solutions. In terms of early demand, we know we must establish a robust demand signal for carbon removal, and my colleagues are hard at work on procurement at scale. In addition to our early contracts with partners such as Climeworks, Heirloom, Carbon Capture Inc., our recently unveiled purchase agreement with Ørsted underscores the sheer scale at which we're willing to engage to create carbon removal capacity. Microsoft is planning for a portfolio of roughly 5 million metric tons per year of carbon removal in 2030 across nature-based and engineered solutions. And we know that long-term contracts are needed to jumpstart the development of those projects. We estimate that most of the carbon removal capacity that will be online and available in 2030 will have been designed by 2025, and nearly all of it designed by the end of 2027. We're committed to meeting this moment, so we're active in project origination and collaborative design to make it happen. As we survey the field of potential carbon removal suppliers, we're heartened to see the influx of talent entering the field and the get stuff done, get stuff built attitude that we encounter. This field attracts highly motivated long-term thinkers who will roll up their sleeves to find the solutions to tough problems, and that's all for the better. At the same time, it's important as an industry to avoid overpromising on pricing or timelines. After all, if you promise to build Rome in a day, my procurement colleagues will expect you to deliver. In terms of mobilizing early capital, Microsoft's Climate Innovation Fund was created to do just that. In the past 3 years, we've committed nearly $700 million to emerging climate technologies globally, including DAC investments in Climeworks' Orca facility in Iceland, and to support the broader, burgeoning ecosystem of innovators, including Climeworks, Heirloom, Climate Robotics, and others. Additionally, we're a philanthropic participant in backing first-of-a-kind projects with Breakthrough Catalyst. This can help to bridge the gap between first-of-a-kind deployments and commercial operation at scale. Finally, one of the most important market dynamics that we're observing today is the importance of engaging and consulting with frontline communities that will be affected by carbon market development over time. We're eager to see more developers engaging deeply in incorporating community and justice factors in their carbon projects. The pace of DAC adoption needs to be exponential, but it's not unprecedented. In fact, we've seen solar and onshore wind follow an even steeper adoption curve. As costs come down and production scales up, a virtuous cycle of supply and demand have taken hold in those markets. We need to apply that same playbook to carbon removal, and we need to collaborate across industries, mobilizing support for these technologies to reach the scale and price at which more corporate buyers will be eager to participate. The role of voluntary carbon markets is to drive climate action, even in the current absence of a comprehensive compliance market. To do so credibly and sustainably, these markets will require clear standards, a consistent and interoperable approach to carbon accounting, and technological tools for monitoring, reporting, and verification at scale. Microsoft is investing across those dimensions to enable the voluntary markets. Our investments in startups such as SustainCert and Perennial are aimed at improving the certification and verification processes for carbon market offerings. At the same time, we're partnering with governments and civil society organizations to spur action on building the frameworks for carbon markets, such as the Carbon Call with Climeworks Foundation. These same issues will be critical to proving out DAC and carbon removal writ large. As an example, Climeworks' efforts with DNV to verify the carbon removals at Orca is a great example of showing the work, and we look forward to seeing other organizations roll out their measurement and verification approaches to clearly show the math. We believe that a strategy of transparency is absolutely crucial to solidifying confidence in carbon market solutions. Sunlight is a keystone of our own internal decarbonization efforts, and we're committed to publishing our progress and our lessons learned from our overall sustainability efforts and our carbon removal activities in particular. We see this transparency and educational contribution as being at least as important as all of our other work, because mobilizing others is the best way to have a multiplier effect. By pulling all the levers of climate action, we're working to go farther faster, to demonstrate that the path to carbon negative is achievable, and it's here. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today, and have a great rest of the summit.